The Dine-Away team has come to the extreme west of Worcestershire to visit the old market town of Tenbury Wells. It has a population of 2,400 and has had a market since 1249. It lies below the Clee Hills and the lovely Team Valley. Tenbury is on one side of the River Team, just off the A456, 18 miles southwest of Kidderminster. It is, in fact, on almost exactly the spot where Herefordshire, Worcestershire and Shropshire all meet, and it's surrounded by rich farmlands, hop fields and orchards. The town itself has some of those attractive black and white half-timbered houses so typical of this part of the country. Well, we've come to meet Mr Tenbury, as he's known locally. His name is Eric Lowe. We've come to his house, Brookend. We've got the company of Peter the Canary in the background. And, Eric, I think we might as well start with the river. What about the river team? Tell us something about it.
Well, the river is particularly fast-flowing. It runs just on the edge of the town, and so does Keir Brook. They're both subject to floods, and the town has suffered tremendously in past years. One of the worst was in 1770, when so great was the flood that it destroyed St Mary's Parish Church. In 1886, there was another great flood. In 1924, a flood I remember particularly well, because I was living in Market Street, and we watched the water rushing down. It was very frightening. Then again, we've had a flood in 1947, which was quite worrying. The last flood, I think, took place in 1960.
You've got a marvellous bridge as one comes into the town. Now, who built this bridge? It's an iron bridge, is it?
It's always been said that it was built by Telford. It has iron railings, but I have a record here which suggests it was reconstructed in 1816, and the architect was John Simpson.
Tell us a bit about the town. Any legends, any history on him?
We have a very nice legend which takes us back to Roman times. Caractacus, he was one of the last of the biggish warriors to hold out against the Romans. It's said that he was born in this locality. It's generally thought that he lies buried beneath that tumulus which you may have seen just by Toome Bridge. That has been known for a long time as Caractacus's Mound.
What sort of industry is there in Tenbury?
Well, of course, we have revolved around agriculture through the centuries. And agriculture and its byproducts were the total industry of the town right up till 1941. And then we had certain light industries, machine tools, and also a factory making dials of all kinds for ships and machines of various kinds.
You're calling it Tenbury Wells, but in fact the official name is Tenbury Wells. Where did the wells come in?
Yes. Well, the story is quite an interesting one, because the spa was our only hope for great fame in this little town. On July the 17th, 1839, the squire of the town, Mr Septimus Godson, had a well sunk, and when he had the water analysed, he found it had very strong mineral content, great medicinal value. And so it was decided to start a spa. Mr. Godson was very good. He decided that it should be for the working and labouring classes, people who could not at those times afford to go to the spa. But alas, it wasn't publicised in any form, not until 1911. And then it was too late in the heyday of the spa.
Yes, it never competed with Bath or Droitwich for America.
No, it was quite serious. Only would grow to be the size of Bath and Felton. But that never happened. But all the same, the wells lasted and were open from 1839 till 1939. And if I may say, it's a strange thing in Tenbury, I've noted. The things do seem to last 100 years. The gasworks, the workhouse, the Baptist chapel, the railway station.
The railway no more, though, I'm afraid.
The railway 1864 until 1961.
Good. Well, now, Queen Victoria described it as the town of the orchard. How would you describe Tenbury?
The town in the orchard is no new name. It has been adapted and given to this town for well over 200 years. But I think I could well sum it up by reciting to you a little poem from a Worcestershire tapestry map of the 16th century. Here hills do lift their heads aloft, from whence sweet springs do flow, whose moisture good doth fertile make the valleys couched below. Here goodly orchards planted are, in fruit which do abound. Thine eye would make thine heart rejoice to see so pleasant ground.
Well, Eric, thank you very much. Mr. Tenbury, now we want a piece of music to start our program. What are you going to choose?
Well, I think, as I was a bell ringer most of my life at St. Mary's, and as this is the bicentenary of the rebuilding of Tenbury Church after the 1770 flood, I would very much like to have the bells of St. Mary.